What's good, Raider Nation? It's y'all boy Mikey Raider coming to you with a video. Please forgive me. I've been working on my PC. Well, my big one broke and I'm using an older one that I kind of am able to live stream. So I'm hopefully this weekend going to do a live video for everybody, and we're going to do some draft picks, some mock drafts, and just talk the draft that's coming up in 10 days. Might even be less, might be 7 or 8 days. But I wanted to get you guys a video while I had this idea in my head. And I also wanted to say thank you to everybody that still F's with me. My last Jayden Daniels video did like 2K. I guess it was a good title and he's very popular. So that really made me feel good. And I found a few new friends and subscribers from it. So let's build on top of that, and let's try to make another semi-popular video with me just talking, because I don't have no graphics, no skill sets for editing or anything right now. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. Please hit that thumbs up, that like, that subscribe button. Consider becoming a member of this channel for future exclusive live streams. Maybe like the draft. Maybe day 2 or 3. But hey, appreciate you guys' support, and hopefully by the end of this video, you guys like me, understand me, and F with me, because we all need friends and love in our life. All right, what's going on in Raiderland? Not much. Everything 10 days before the draft is rumors, speculation, what they will do, what they won't do. There's no real big Raider news. So let's dive into it. Since it's draft time, and again, hopefully I'm going to go live stream for members only, and I'm going to make a Raider recipe. So what do you guys want me to make on this year's draft day with a Raider name? You know, like Derek Carnitas Tacos or something like that. You know, give me a Raider recipe that I can make with a Raider name, whether it be on a player or whatever. And I'm going to do that for members only. It'll probably be a 2-hour live stream while I walk around and cook my Raider recipe, but it's going to be fun. But yeah, let me know some Raider recipes that you think I could do that are Raider themed for this year. So in the speculation train, I'm just gonna, because it's popular, I'm gonna talk about quarterbacks in this episode from my perspective. I am not the biggest college genius or whatever, but I'll be honest with you guys, for many years, when I've done mock drafts for the Raiders, and I picked certain players at certain positions, the Raiders didn't get them, and then I'm probably 60-70%, where a lot of them were studs. I'm not talking the later rounds of the draft, like the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, but for the most part, the first round picks that I did in mock drafts on many other shows back in the days, a lot of those players became popular. So I think I got a good track record. I can't prove it, can't pull up all the receipts. You're just going to have to take my word for it. But of course, I've had failures. So I think I'm probably at 60%. I'm hoping towards 70. So we're going to have a mock draft this weekend, live officially. But I'm going to give you the quarterback perspectives as of right now, as it stands. And I'm also going to give you a theory of a trade that maybe the Raiders should do that will propel them into the future. And I might give you a quick little debunking of some of the rumors that I've been witnessing in terms of the Raiders and what they're going to do. We are all fans. We all have different opinions, and we're not always right, but a lot of us are. So I'm going to respect that with you guys, and let's do this. All right. We all know that Jayden Daniels is the Raiders' favorite. We believe that in our hearts because of him working with Antonio Pierce and their history. And again, there can be many misconceptions about that. And all the rumors online, the speculation is that for a week or 2 ago, it was he's going to go to the Raiders, and the Raiders are going to trade up, and they're going to do everything they can to get him. And Antonio Pierce is like, I'm going to go get her. I'm going to go get him. Now, he's going to the Washington Commanders. You know, 7 days removed, he's going to the Washington Commanders, according to all the mock drafts from the so-called NFL experts. Well, let's just quickly talk about Jayden Daniels Is he a good fit for the Raiders? If he is their guy, they're going to get him. No matter what they have to trade up to get him to or whatever, if he is their guy, and Mark Davis apparently has given the go-ahead for the Raiders and the GM to do whatever they need to do to get their guy, apparently he's given them the blessing. So if he's their guy, they're going to try to go get him. And they probably, per my last video, have already been trying to go get him. It's a foregone conclusion that he's been drafted by the Raiders in their mind. Maybe they've had communications. Maybe they've already put together a trade strategy that we're not going to find out till the day of the draft when it all happens. But again, now he's slated. Those trade up rumors were the Raiders trading with the New England Patriots at number 3. That's why all the media is saying that Jayden Daniels is now going to the Commanders at number 2. So, is that smokescreen? Is that by Raiders people paying people to say Jayden Daniels is going so now the Raiders can look elsewhere? I don't know. There's going to be so much like spies and situationals, and we don't know what's going on. You know, this is like 3D chess. And hopefully the Raiders are finally playing 3D chess. Because let's be honest, for the most part, they haven't really done stuff like that. Not saying that they're not intelligent enough, but they've missed the boat with a lot of first-round draft picks. Let's just be honest. It's honesty. Everybody appreciates honesty. But if Jayden Daniels is their guy, offer up what you got to offer to get him and go get him. Now, per my knowledge, he's a little bit skinny and slinky. A slinky, a wonderful, wonderful toy from my mind. I always want a little bit of a bigger quarterback. I'm afraid of them getting hit so many times because we do struggle on our offensive line, and we might struggle this year. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But he's a little bit slinky to me. So, let's be honest. If Jayden Daniels goes to number 3 and he's bypassed by the Commanders, the Raiders are going to start trying to trade up with the Pats. Like I said, they might have temporary trades set in place. I mean, you got to go out and get a franchise quarterback this year. There's also rumors by my boy Wi-Fi Willie. Even, you know, a lot of people don't like him. That's fine. He's been cool with me. I ain't got no problems with him. But he also said there might be a theory where the Raiders don't even get a quarterback in this year's draft. Put that in the toilet can because they getting a quarterback in this year's draft. Mark it in stone. Mikey Raider said, Wi-Fi Willie, you're wrong. But yeah, we getting a quarterback. But if Jayden Daniels is their guy, if he falls to number 3, like I said, if this Washington Commanders stuff does not happen, Raiders are going to be on the phone. There's too much smoke in that situation. Raiders are going to be on the phone. Okay? They might have already got something in place with the New England Patriots to move up to number 3 for Jayden Daniels. So I can speculate for hours about the Jayden Daniels situation, but I'm not going to do that. I kind of did that in the last video, so I'm going to leave that to that. Now, let's just move on with the theory that the Raiders did not move up, pick up Jayden Daniels. He wasn't available at 3. He was taken by one of the other teams. What do the Raiders do? Do they move up and try to go to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, or 12, where the Giants pick or the Denver Broncos pick to try to get a quarterback after maybe 3 or 4 quarterbacks are gone by that point? I don't know. I don't know. Again, if I'm in the draft sheet for the Raiders and we want Jayden Daniels, we're not able to get him, whatever trade compensation did not work, he did not fall to number 3 or where we could possibly trade to, I'm going to stand pat. And I'm going to come up with a secondary different strategy. That being said, there's a lot of players at the quarterback position that are rumored to be on the Raiders' radar. Michael Penix, Spencer Rattler, Bo Nix, Is Drake May? No, he probably won't fall. There might be some other ones that I'm forgetting to name. But Michael Penix is the big one for me. I liked that guy when I saw him in college. A week or two back. A month or two, during the championship or playoff games. And I liked him a lot. That dude was poised. But per my knowledge, people are saying, oh, he gets scared in the pocket, when he's getting hit. Plus, he's coming off of 2 big injuries, and he hasn't run that much. But he's a pocket dime passer and a deep ball passer. And I saw that. Somewhere on my Twitter timeline, or my X timeline, I wrote that. I like this guy. I could see this guy in a Raiders uniform. I don't care about the injuries and all that so much. He ran a 4.5 at the combine. He can run. Will he learn how to add that more to his game and not be afraid post-injuries? We got to hope so. I think he's only a 4% runner where he averages 5 yards a carry in college. But from my observations with Michael Penix, he can make every throw. He's a straight line shooter, deep ball passer. But on the run, does he have the accuracy? I don't think he excels as much on the run with the accuracy. That's why maybe the Raiders want a more athletic quarterback that's better on the run, to improvise, to make things happen. But with Michael Penix Jr., he has a good, great skill set. All the experts will agree. But every time I saw him throw the ball in college, when he was throwing dimes up across the middle, getting players open, the deep ball, he was out of the shotgun. That's just my observations. And he's a good shotgun quarterback. Now, in my opinion, if you're going to have to if you draft Michael Penix, you won't get an awesome passer. Definitely in the pocket as well. So you got to keep him protected. So you got to make sure you got an O-line to protect this guy. Whether he'll be the opening day starter, day one, I do not know. But you got to protect him, because he's not that big on the run. And yeah, you can design a few plays for him to go on the run. That'll be fine. And you can ease him into it. But in the beginning, if he wants to have a good career, he needs an offensive line. Then on top of that, he needs a lot of plays out of the shotgun to get comfortable. Because he was tearing teams apart in the shotgun in college. That's my observation. So our coordinator, if we draft Michael Penix, we got to get him an offensive lineman or 2. And we got to build a game plan where he feels comfortable. We're not only trying to run him all the time, where he can be accurate and throw the long ball, but he has to have enough time to throw the long ball and to be that accurate, which he typically is. And they're going to have to put in my opinion, a lot of shotgun plays. Maybe it'll always be shotgun on 3rd down when it's 3rd and long. I do not know. But I like Michael Penix. I can see him going to the Raiders at 13 if he falls past Denver or whoever else is there. And that would be a good pickup. There's also rumors that he might go to the 2nd round. I doubt it. This is going to be a quarterback draft. It always turns out to be that way. And whether you agree with Michael Penix as a pick, he is on the Raiders' radar. The radar. He's on the Raiders' radar. They've had a top 30 visit with him. Bo Nix, Spencer Rattler. They have not had a top 30 visit with Jayden Daniels, Drake May, Caleb Williams. Doesn't mean they won't draft him. They may have met him on pro days, but there wasn't an official top 30 pick with those players that I just mentioned. But they did have it with Michael Penix and a few others. So you got to put them on the radar. The radar. Now, the other quarterbacks that we can talk about is Bo Nix. He's a running quarterback as well. He has a little bit of a skill set where he runs. He's not as good as a deep ball passer as Michael Penix, according to whatever little bit I've read. But he can run around and throw the ball, and he can possibly be a Josh Allen type, which is really, really cool and interesting. I think he played in, was it Oregon? But he's on the Raiders' radar. Say that 3 times in a row. Raiders' radar, Raiders' radar, Raiders' radar. It's tough. So it's anybody's game where the Raiders go at 13 if their guy is not available. Again, you make a play for your guy. If you can't get him, then you just sit back and you have other options. Now, in my opinion, this is going to be a trade-up scenario that, in my opinion, would be something really awesome to behold. Because typically the Raiders don't trade up. They normally stay pat and pick the wrong guy. Sorry. Just being honest. Sorry, Radiation. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. But, they picked the wrong guy. God, made me laugh. But here's a scenario, man, that I really think will work. And I'm going to put this into 70% happening. So let's say they want Jayden Daniels. They're not able to trade up. He goes before or whatever. He goes before number 3, 4, or 5 where they can't officially trade up for him. And he goes to another team. As long as Michael Penix falls, or Bo Nix, which all trade rumors say that they will, or Spencer Rattler, that they will fall, maybe not till completely out of the end of the first round or early in the second, for one of those 3 quarterbacks that the Raiders had top 30 visits with. The Raiders are at 13. They might go a quarterback at 12. Denver might pick up Bo Nix, Spencer Rattler, Michael Penix, or one of their coveted quarterbacks, if they even get one. So the Raiders should not mess around with trading up before Denver. That would be fun. We're going to have to give up too much. I don't care who they take. We're going to have options moving forward. If they take a quarterback, we're going to have options after. So in my opinion, the Raiders need, if we lose Jayden Daniels and Michael Penix, Bo Nix, Spencer Rattler, or some of these other coveted Raiders quarterbacks that we had top 30 visits with are available at 13. The quick, easy question would be, take them. Take them. Not so quick. If there is a top 2, maybe even 3 offensive linemen at number 13, somebody that is a stud that you believe will be a starter for many years, you take that offensive lineman, in my opinion. You take that offensive lineman. Because, again, you might need an offensive lineman to protect Gardner Minshew, Aiden O'Connell, Michael Penix, Bo Nix, Spencer Rattler, whoever else you take. And the offensive line is a big concern for the Raiders. Maybe not major, but I think we need a right guard, right tackle, and maybe after the following year, we need a left tackle. So we got to address that now, especially with knowing we're going to get a rookie quarterback in the draft. So if there's a top 2 offensive tackle or lineman at that position at 13, you get them. You get them. Offensive tackle, offensive guard, whatever the offensive line position is, you get them. Now, here's where it gets tricky. Now, as the draft goes along, you got to watch it, you got to build it, but you got to create a scenario where you need to give up some future draft picks, maybe a second round or a third round, and you try to move back in to the first round to get Michael Penix, Spencer Rattler, Bo Nix, or one of these other coveted quarterbacks that you have on your roster. There's where you go get your guy. And it didn't cost you 3 first-round draft picks for previous years. It may have cost you 2 second-round picks, for this year and the following year, and maybe a 6th or something like that. But you can get back into the first round for a little bit cheaper than you would have to go to the number 3 spot or wherever it was. So now that way, if this happens, and I believe this is a good scenario, I believe the Raiders should do this. That is a good gamble. Again, if Jayden Daniels is not available, they can't trade up. Sorry, I don't know what that is. This is a good gamble. We're not giving up our entire future. We're giving up, a couple of second rounders and maybe a third. It's not our first round draft picks in case we suck. I could see this happening. And then that way, if we do draft a quarterback, we move back into the round. Maybe we draft a quarterback at 20, 21, 24, 27. Now we just added a top 2 or 3 offensive linemen. And we got a top 5 quarterback or top 6 quarterback in the draft to back up Gardner Minshew and whatever. And maybe we get Michael Penix, Spencer Rattler, or Bo Nix. That seems like a really plausible scenario for me that might actually happen this year. Now, as far as the rest of the draft is concerned, I'm not going to delve into that. We'll do some mock drafts this week. But you guys can let me know your mock drafts down below. Let me know what you thought of my trade scenario of taking an offensive lineman. Again, it all depends on if they're there. But that's a really, really good scenario. And the same could be said for a wide receiver. But you can save wide receivers for day 2 or 3. But if there is a stud wide receiver at 13, and you could trade back up and get a quarterback. But it's the offensive lineman for me. That scenario makes more sense to me. And I'd be really proud that the Raiders traded up. They got their quarterback that they did want, maybe their second choice. But they got their quarterback and they got an offensive lineman for the future. And the future would look bright to me. Again, there's many other situations with the Raiders, whether it be the Devante Adams situation. Will he be traded to the Jets or not? I don't think so. He requires too much money this year. But I believe that, this might be Devante Adams' last year as a Raider, because they can get rid of him for maybe $14 million dead cap or something next year. And then he's supposed to require $40 million next year and the following year on the cap. But I think they can get rid of him with dead cap for like $14 million next year, maybe $9 million the following. I'm not quite sure. But it's still going to cost us a pretty penny if we were to part ways in however scenario with Devante Adams. But this might technically be his last year, and he wants to see the rookie quarterback that we get, and then he'll either be happy or pissed off. But one thing we know for sure, well, we don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure Devante's playing for us this year, and the Raiders are going to force feed him the ball. I hope that doesn't hinder a rookie quarterback, and make them throw interceptions so much, because they're always looking and trying to get the ball to Devante, who will always be double or triple teamed. It's a scary scenario to think about, how having Devante Adams might actually hurt a rookie quarterback coming to this team. But he helps more than he hurts. Then you're going to find out how good actually is that rookie quarterback. If he can get the ball to Devante with a little bit of interception or less interceptions, and he could be accurate, then you know that you picked the right quarterback, depending on the year they have. So it could either be a great year with a rookie quarterback and Devante, or it could be a bad year with a rookie quarterback and Gardner Minshew, and Devante's just like, it ain't working. I saw all I could from that rookie quarterback. It ain't going to work. I saw all I could from Gardner Minshew. It ain't going to work. And then he'll just be like, you know what? Give me to New York with Aaron Rodgers. And just quick side note, I saw a video of Aaron Rodgers talking about Dr. Fauci in the 80s and how the HIV came about in the same game plan as COVID-19. pretty interesting. And I love Aaron Rodgers even more now. Because I'm a truther, I'm a theorist, and I love him even more. Because I've known that information that he's putting out on the podcast. I've known that for many years. Because I do my research on alternative sites with other doctors and scientists. And there's a lot of proof out there. But you can't find it because they scrub it. But I'm not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the Raiders. Let me know what you thought on my quarterback trade scenario, my offensive lineman trade scenarios, and your thoughts on the upcoming draft. And please, from the bottom of my heart, take today, realize how blessed you are, and let's try to stay healthy, stay happy, stay Raider, stay blessed. And this weekend, I'm coming to you live. So be a part of this channel. I'm coming to you live, whether it be on my phone or my old computer. And we're going to talk and do some mock drafts this weekend, either Friday or Saturday night, as we prepare for the draft. And then if you guys could find it in your heart, I'm definitely going to be live streaming day one of the draft night. Might be through my phone or that computer. I'm not quite sure yet. But if you guys want to join me and hang out, maybe I'll buy some beers. I don't know if I should. It's not really good for me. But it's going to be a fun night. And we all need to have fun together. If you stayed this long in the bottom of the video, write Raider, Radar. Raider, Radar. That way I know you stuck around. Hit that thumbs up, that like. I love you guys. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay blessed, stay Raider. And I'll see you in the next video.